We're back for another round of parallel leaks and reactions. So much new information has come out in the last 3 or 4 weeks. The World Tournament happened. People got to play Colony. There's been updates on Parallel TCG, on new sets, on balance stuff, on new features. There's been Colony, Tau Ceti stuff. Tau Ceti has a name now. It's called Sanctuary. So much. And so I brought in Gas, again, Gasnipi. You know him, you love him, to go through all of these cool things, and we're just gonna react and go through all the latest news in the parallel ecosystem. It's the secret podcast. Don't call it a podcast. It's not a podcast. First up, guys, let's talk about Sanctuary. So this is the third person extraction shooter being built on the B3.fun platform, powered by the Prime token. Here's Kalos's post, just for context. He just described what it is, and this was posted on February 14th. So this is about a month ago, and then we're going to get into some more recent stuff. But here's from about a month ago, some footage from Sanctuary. And so right away, Gas, what do you feel? You're the FPS expert. I'm notoriously bad with FPS games. What do you feel? What do you think when you look at this?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that we got like a battle royale theme, but looks like everything is gonna point to the type of game like Escape from Tarkov or the new Arena Breakout, right? So what I think we're gonna face here is some AI bots, and occasionally we're gonna find some players that are also trying to build something, because I expect that you are going to grind something or some items that are going to have some value in the ecosystem, right?
Yeah, the extraction thing kind of makes sense for people in the on-chain world, because then there's the idea of you can extract rare things and trade them with your friends, which could include buying and selling, which gets into the whole trading stuff. But um, maybe the downside of extraction shooters is that they're a little bit hard to get into. They can be really sweaty in a way that's not forgiving to new players. I would have
Yeah, exactly.
I would have probably been better with a battle royale where I can just drop in and noob around. But maybe one issue is that it's just hard to fill up battle royales
I
for a
wouldn't
new
say that it's
studio,
hard.
right?
I wouldn't say like it's hard to fill up a battle royale. That I will just worry about more about how the ecosystem or how Colony will be connecting with the sanctuary. So if you think it through, actually makes sense to make an extraction game, just because there are going to be things that possibly are connected to other games. So um,
Yeah, like
for me,
it's
make
it's it's making
yes,
things making it hard to get the resources, so it's not just about
exactly,
grinding time but also about the skill of like, can you actually get that thing extracted,
exactly,
as opposed to like
exactly,
running in circles killing the same mob over and over, which is always an oversimplification of like a World of Warcraft or a Diablo thing, because building your class, building your character is incredibly skillful, and there's a lot of creativity, and it's not that different from deck building in a card game like Parallel.
exactly.
But still, there is that element, like when I was grinding a game called Lost Relics for a while, maybe some old viewers will remember, like where you're just kind of running through a map over and over, you're killing the same mobs over and over. Extraction, in my mind, is a little more of like a PvP thing of like you have to outsmart people, so you have to always be adjusting your tactics, because whatever works today, they're gonna counterplay you tomorrow, kind of like if my deck gets countered in Parallel. Okay, we
Exactly.
we could easily keep rambling on this, but let's. One thing I noticed on the last one is that it's good to keep a pace. Let's just keep looking at stuff, and we'll keep this conversation going across these clips, as opposed to
Yeah,
having the full
perfect.
conversation on the first clip. So this one has two different clips. It looks like side by side. I'd like to
Hmm.
bring them full screen, but I'm not sure that I can, so I might just zoom in for the next best thing. It's two vertical clips here, and you can see someone. You can see the left and right. It's human hands with a keyboard and a mouse, and then the monitor there, so we can kind of see like it's actually a person really playing it. This is March
Exactly.
3rd. So was this? Yeah. So this was live playtesting from Parallel Worlds tournament, the World Tournament in Las Vegas.
Yeah. So my feeling right here is that I've never seen someone shooting so far. So I really want to know how the recoil is going to work. I've seen enough of how the inventory is managed. We can see that it's going to be a little bit slow paced kind of game, because you need time to loot things. But I'm more worried about the interactions together with the other players. Like if we can team up, if we
There you go.
can. Yeah, there's some shooting. Yeah, let's go. There's some shooting already, so we know that. I want to know if we're gonna be able to team up in squads or duos or something,
We need
and
to,
try to
because I
finish.
need to team up with you guys. I'm so bad. Like the way this,
Exactly.
I need to like go on my. There's gonna be like a 1 to 2 week arc where I go full sweat. This is another one showing off worlds. Wishing we could play Sanctuary again right now. Let's see. I'm gonna mute the audio because I'm just really scared of audio getting messed up for the recording. So, but yeah, another clip. He's jumping around. It looks like shrapnel to me. Did you ever play Shrapnel Gas?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just a better one, a better version of shrapnel. It looks like possibly we're gonna have some abilities depending on the faction you're playing with. Because so far I just have seen like people bouncing around and making a couple of shots, but nothing like super special. I'm actually waiting for any kind of abilities like off the grid has the limbs, or shrapnel has the powers they send, they threw. So I'm kind of waiting that mechanic to see how the movement is gonna work around the whole game, and how would you be better. I mean, maybe the shroud can slow you down, or maybe Margolians
Yeah.
can have additional damage or something like that. I'm
Cathari can
looking
like
forward to
clone yourself
understand
for a
those
minute,
mechanics.
or then like you like poison them and their health is slowly going down with the spores, like things like that. Basically, 100
Exactly. Exactly.
percent. Yeah, I feel like it's almost okay. This is something every game does, not parallel. You guys know I'm not one of those guys who's exclusively 100% positive. I like to make a little fun of the things that are a little bit silly because it's we all know it. And so one thing, it's like a horror movie. Okay, I'm gonna draw. Here's the metaphor. These games, when they're revealing like a shooter game and like marketing it and like slowly revealing it, it's like a horror movie sometimes where you never see the monster directly. So like in a horror movie, it's scary because you see like a little tentacle, but the camera moves too quick, and then like someone gets pulled off screen and killed, and then you see their corpse. Like, you don't see the monster because back in the day, once you saw the monster, you realized it was just like some silly practical effects and it looked kind of goofy, right? They've gotten better at building these epic monsters with CGI and with practical effects. Point is, though, games are kind of the same where like they don't want to show you the whole game. They want to show you a 10-second clip because it's way easier to see the problems with the game when you see a 10-minute uninterrupted gameplay thing. Like when you see 10 minutes of gameplay uninterrupted, it reveals much more of the full picture, just like seeing the flying spaghetti monster in the horror movie and realizing it's not scary. It's like if you show a 5-second clip, any game can look hype, right? And so we're kind of in
Yeah,
that
that's for sure.
phase. I'm not doubting Sanctuary, but it is obvious if you're in the space. I'm saying something everyone knows, which is that like we're in that phase of Sanctuary where we're getting the little glimpses, but we're waiting for that moment where people have gotten to play it, so they're not really hiding it, but we're just waiting for like a good 5 to 10 minute clip of uninterrupted gameplay with multiple firefights and someone doing cool stuff to really show us the game, like show us the monster. Basically, we're waiting for
I
that
wish I
moment
wish we can do that on stream
on
live.
stream. There's a lot of people who want to do those. I tend to not worry too much, but I bet we can start getting some leaks and stuff. I don't know if we're going to
Yeah.
get the world first shrapnel playthrough, but over time, they're very supportive of what we're doing in Paragons and Flux Corp, so I'm sure it's not impossible. What's up, Speed Demon? What's up, Cilium? So this is Kalos on March 11th, just a few days ago. Pew 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 at Parallel with some really colorful, highly saturated pictures of what looks like a sanctuary extraction attempt. So you got a Marco character trying to extract while a Cathari character tries to stop them. What do you think of
Exactly.
this one?
Bro, I'm just super eager to see how they are creating how they are building the whole map, because I'm not sure if it's only gonna be one map, or you'll be able to visit different planets and extract any kind of materials from those planets. So I'm really looking forward to see more than just the pew pews, but the whole world, the whole map, and how they will develop those great cinematics, right?
Yeah, that's part of like seeing the monster concept too. Like, can
Yeah,
we see the whole map? That's like another thing.
exactly.
It definitely what we're seeing on the map, it looks very much like it just all I can see is it's like, okay, it's very similar to Shrapnel, which I'm assuming is also similar to other games where it's kind of like, I don't want to say they're using a standard set of assets, but is that what it is? Is it like a standardized asset thing? Like these aren't custom assets, probably. I mean, obviously the parallel assets are custom, but like the landscape and stuff is probably standard.
I would put my hands on fire, and I would say a lot of their assets are doing by themselves,
You think so?
by
Even like the map and like
own.
the buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they will. I mean, I know that in Unreal Engine you have like this package where you have multiple assets, and you can play around with those, and you don't have to pay anything. But I guess I'm betting for them to creating their own assets for sure.
For a studio, the way Parallel does it, that would make sense. It's kind of part of their overall just betting on
Yeah.
quality. Like we do it better, while other people kind of cut corners. We'll take our time and do it right. Okay, we have one last. Or wait, no, is that all the? Okay, this is a really epic cinematic from March 13th. So just posted today, or was this literally today? Yeah. Wow. Okay, this was posted 3 hours ago. So Mobo, I don't know who this is. Visual development artist following. Happy to share the last cinematic he's been working recently. The amount of team effort put behind this little short was incredible. Pretty cool to work on this one with the talented folks at Parallel. Unreal Engine using Lumen mocap. And then he tagged this Rococo, which is also followed by Xcopy, which means this is probably cool. I don't know what that is. Okay, let's see what this is. Woo! Loud. One thing I will say, not to immediately interrupt, but like these cinematics are incredible, and what I'm noticing is that they're able to do it again and again. Like the cinematics are rare because they're expensive, and it's not like they're not an animation studio. They're not like trying to be Pixar. They're trying to make video games. But like when they do these, like I remember Axie did one really good cinematic once, and they never did it again. And it was like, where the fuck did that go? And like with this, it's just I feel like they're able to knock it out of the park over and over with these cinematics. Like they've done enough of them that are amazing that it's like it's not just like a one time like they farmed it out to some other studio and paid him way too much money. Like they're able to do this again and again, which is really
And
amazing.
this is how basically you get the sweats, right? So that's how you do it. You get their attentions through good cinematics, like Blizzard has been doing it from years and years.
Yeah, people don't get it. Like people are so obsessed with the earnings aspect and the competitive and the professional aspect, they forget that like when you fall in love with the world, when you fall in love with the characters, that becomes the ultimate motivation. It becomes the thing you're
Exactly.
due. Like once you've made your money and now you get to do what you want, you go and play the game because you like it becomes the motivation. That's the reason you want to make money is to do that stuff with your time that now you have available. Like it reaches that level. It's like a level beyond money. That's literally what the word fun is. It's enjoyable, it's fun. And so that's what you spend your money on once you've made it. Whereas so many people are in the making money is the incentive. Like people have lost sight that there's a level one deeper than that, which is what you actually enjoy. And that's why some people are motivated by money for money's sake, but most people, it's a path, it's a means to an end of that other thing. And it's good characters, good world building, good graphics, good audio, good creativity, good damn game design that creates that foundational level of motivation that actually is what the earnings people are built on top of. But everyone lost sight of that during the crypto craziness.
Exactly.
And this cinematic, while not really showing us any gameplay stuff, is really it's speaking to all of that. Like, who is this guy? What is this world? I'm immersed. I'm excited. I want to live in this. I want to experience this. Well, no, that's the thing though. Like in chat, Speed Demon says sometimes you just enjoy a game. This is what it means to just enjoy a game. Like when the stuff is so good, it kind of collapses into just, wow, I'm enjoying this game. Like it goes from all this heady theoretical ideas to just, I'm having fun. This is what's so complicated is like, what is fun? You know it when you see it, but to describe it accurately, you could write books and books and have a whole college department studying it and like science wings, like, but at the same time, you know what fun is. When you're having fun, you're having fun. But there's different kinds of fun. There's fun that's like You know, that's a whole thing you could get into.
And that it's funny because that last guy is just watching at the sanctuary, looking forward to get there. You know, it's like
Yeah.
he's looking with some eagerness in his eyes, right?
He's
So
us. Like,
the,
that's you. Like, you are this
exactly,
guy.
exactly.
And people have, like, this is what Parallel's doing, is, like, actually making high quality things. Even if like various things go wrong and it's not perfect, it's like the quality is high, the creativity is there, the storytelling, the characters are there, and these other games just don't have it. I'm looking for games that do. I don't want to hate, but like the Axie IP is pathetic. Like, it might work for, I mean, it might be good for kids, but as an adult, I don't find it in remotely engaging whatsoever. And I've kind of seen the same with like what was Shrapnel's world? You just drop in and you shoot people. Like, what's the world? What's the motivation? There's nothing, right? When I play a game
Exactly.
like Hades, which has just reminded me of everything about game design, it's like, oh, wow, I'm super addicted. And it's just because I love the world, the characters, the gameplay. Like, it's just this awakening moment, which I think Parallel is allowing with Sanctuary, Colony, as well as the TCG and all these other things, where it's like, it's getting to it's actually, when you engage with it, it's actually fun for the right reasons. And it's just like proving, I don't know, just in this crypto bubble, it's just the crypto gaming bubble has been so toxic because people who try to do things for anything other than money are basically treated as stupid or naive. And it's just like we're getting back to basics, where it's like it's not about crypto, it's not about on chain, it's just a good game, and they happen to use NFTs for the technical use. So this tweet, about a week ago, a little less than a week ago, Kalos tweets, combat will be in the alpha release for Parallel Colony. So let's take a look. Oh wait, I already, here we go.
Yeah.
It's the monster, bro. They won't show us the monster.
Yeah. They won't show it.
They cut off right before the combat starts. Yeah, so it hard to say, but all we really get from this is that it looks, the build up looks really good. I mean, this looks really good. They panned away right before they showed the monster, so we don't get to see
I'm
the
just looking
monster. But
forward to see the mechanics, right? Because if Carlos already said that there's no win condition, why would you battle then? Why would you battle for then, right?
I think when he
So,
says no win condition, it's like there's no you win, the game is over, go back to the starting screen.
oh, okay, okay,
I
okay,
think that's what he means. Like when you play Mario Bros 3 and you beat Bowser in the last castle, and then you go back to the game is over even though you didn't lose. I think
okay,
that's what he
okay,
means when he says there's no win. Like, the game never ends is how I take it. You can never fully lose or fully win. But
okay. I
presumably there's
see.
still things that are there has to be like things you are desiring and like resources. And I mean, he even said for some people the win condition will probably be to get rare stuff and try to sell it, right? For other people it'll be creative, but I wouldn't say there's nothing you can gain. It's just there's no ending win condition is how I interpret that. But yeah, not too much. The lead up looks really good, but yeah, not too much to say about the actual fight since we get the teasing me. And then so one more. Kalos just posted this a few days ago with Rev in the comments. This a new map, huh? Damn. And Kalos said work in progress, expansion in a circle around the original colony. So basically, Kalos says, we'll watch the video in a second here. Kalos says, one way I think about the expansion of Parallel Colony over time is concentric circles expanding the intractable environment. Each ring diversifies the conditions of the game and would create a release cadence that adds depth over time. So expansions would basically be circles increasing the size of, like, you start with like your core, like your like a dartboard, right? You have the bullseye, that's your starting
Hmm.
zone, and expansion one is like the first ring around it. And that's interesting because it
So
keeps
the
things
question,
pretty close together, right? Like if you're in the middle of the circle, you're not too far from any one point.
the question right here is how big is gonna be, the circle is gonna be, right?
I'm guessing this might be our alpha beginning circles, like kind of what we're seeing in this video, like that middle part which we scrolled away from. Dude, it looks so good. It really does look quite good. Like compared to other
Yes.
farming games I've seen and stuff, it just looks really good. Like this game's gonna be the thing that makes me finally buy a new phone. because my phone is so bad it can't even game anymore. Right? This is gonna be it. Like I'm gonna have to buy. I'm gonna have to like.
I actually bought one because I need to have like 9 years with the same phone.
That's a
It's
lot.
enough.
That's I have like
It's
4. I'm not
enough.
on your level yet. But yeah, you can see the water plants. I mean, it looks like a resource farming, gathering kind of game, but it looks like a really, really good one. Like very visually
Yeah.
appealing, really good fidelity. The graphics just look amazing. And yeah, I'm guessing this is kind of like our core colony, right? And then this first
Yep.
ring around it is like farming resources and stuff like your water mill, your coal mine, your wood in the forest, chopping down trees, like all that kind of stuff, right? That's my guess from
And
what I
you're gonna
saw
be
here.
able somehow to expand your circle, your colony, basically, right?
Yeah, that's the
So
idea. Well, it's like
the more
concentric
terrain you take,
circles. It's like you
yeah,
start with this and you add circles around it. So that'd be how you expand it.
exactly. So that it's gonna be this give me like this StarCraft 2 vibes, that where you have like um the massive expansions between the whole map, and it feels like you own the map, and that's the vibes that right now parallel this teaser is giving me.
Yeah, it's like you own, and that's a cool. Like you're like the owner, the lord of this.
Exactly.
It's like you're like a medieval lord running a sci-fi colony. Like you're kind of like you're kind of in charge. Everyone pays fealty to you. You're the guy, but also you're managing a kind of you're managing a whole bunch of stuff, and it's kind of like a society that you're kind of in charge of. Rough like it's like this like
Exactly.
medieval lord kind of thing. I mean, that's as it's interesting that like when we looked at the old tweet where Kalos gives the thesis, I disagree with lots of certain ideas, but what I agree with is that the product looks awesome, and I do think it's good that Kalos has such a strong vision. Like this is how anything good is made: is someone has to have a strong vision for something that could be cool, and just try to make it. And you can't like, oh, but Flux doesn't like the idea of AI games that much. We got to fix it for him. Oh, this person wants more play to earn. Fix it for them. Oh, this person wants, more combat. We got to put that. You can't like make it everyone's individual taste. You have to have one person with a strong vision and they carry that thing through. And that's the biggest problem with big games is when there isn't a clear vision. You don't have one clear creator who's running the ship. You can't make art by committee. Games are more art than science. And all this with Colony, it feels like, is it going to be good or not? It's tough to say until we get to really play it. But at least like the structure of how it's developed is one person with a clear vision and then a strong team that carries that vision forward. And now the teasers are looking good. And there's a lot of reasons to think that in spite of my skepticism, Colony could just be a really, really cool thing.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I can't
Yeah,
wait to
that's for
actually
sure. I
play it.
mean, they have to show us the monster, right? We need to see the big gameplay and how it becomes everything into one, right?
At the right time, to be fair. But if you have a horror movie and the first shot is the monster, you just ruin the movie, right? There's no suspense, right?
Exactly.
Like even I
Yeah.
mean, even like yeah, like so I think that's also fair to say. It's not that you show the monster immediately, but if you get if the movie's 5 hours long and they never showed the monster and I'm 4.5 hours in, I'm probably bored. I probably stopped watching. So there's like we're getting close where it's like okay, show us the monster soon. But to be fair, with Colony, we're getting that. With Colony, we are getting to see a pretty big picture. We don't know what combat looks like, but we're getting a lot of teasers. Sanctuary is a little more, but even then, it's both of us could have. If we were there live, we would have probably gotten to see the monster a little more fully because people are getting to play it at Worlds. So that's partially
Yeah.
our fault. But yeah, man, this has been a really good review. We could easily keep rambling, but I think that was a good review of the last month or so. We'll any
It
any
was.
any final thoughts before we wrap up the not a podcast episode?
No, I mean, let's keep doing this. I mean, let's Carlos, Fitch, Cali, just give us more things to so we can talk about, because we really enjoy um, how how we approach these kind of situations and what the hell are you building in, and it feels super good, right? So it feels like we are part of the process, and even though we're not doing the work per se. So yeah.
We're doing our work. This is work.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm working right now. Don't listen to him. We're working. We're working hard. Yo, Gas, thank you very much for being on the stream and being on the episode. And
Thanks for having me, man.
for everyone listening, make sure to subscribe to the Paragon's channel. We're getting close to 1,000 subs. We got to get there. And I'll see y'all in the next episode, or the next not an episode.